Have you ever been writing something and then suddenly you just freeze up?
Mm.
Because you can't remember, is it affect with an A or affect with an E?
Oh, yeah. All the time.
Like, it's one of those things that I feel like a lot of people kind of struggle with.
It really is one of those tricky ones.
And so today, we're going to do a deep dive on affect versus effect.
I'm excited.
And by the end of this, you're never, ever going to mix them up again.
Yeah.
Because we are going to give you all of the tools. So let's just jump right in.
Awesome.
So let's start with affect.
Okay.
And I think a really good way to think about this, and a sentence that maybe a lot of us can relate to, is like, the weather affects my mood.
Oh, for sure.
Right.
That's a great example.
Like, that is something that we can all relate to.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what exactly is going on with that word affects in that sentence?
Yeah, so in that sentence, affect is a verb, and it means to influence or to cause a change.
Okay, so it's the thing that's making the change, the thing that's doing something.
Right. So in your example, the weather is the thing that's doing the influencing.
Right.
And your mood is the thing that is being changed or influenced.
Okay, I think I got it.
Awesome.
So if affect is kind of the action word,
Yeah.
would it be safe to say that effect is the result of that action?
Exactly, yeah. So affect is a noun.
Okay.
And it means the result or the outcome of something.
So for instance, we could say the effect of bad weather was staying inside all day.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah, so because of the bad weather,
Okay.
because the bad weather was there and because it was affecting you, it made you stay inside. So that's the consequence.
Right.
That's the outcome.
I think I'm starting to get this.
Great.
So affect is the verb. It's the thing doing the action.
Uh-huh.
And effect is the noun. It's the outcome.
Exactly.
Is there like an easy way to remember this?
I always like to think A for affect, action,
Okay.
and E for effect and result.
Oh, okay. I like that.
Yeah.
That's super easy.
Effect, action, effect, and result.
Okay, but you said there were exceptions to this, right?
Oh, right. Yeah.
Like we were just getting this all figured out. Now you're telling me there's exceptions.
So yeah, there are a few very rare exceptions to
Oh.
this rule.
Okay.
But don't worry, like I said, they're really rare.
Okay.
So like for instance, you might hear someone say to affect change.
Okay.
So meaning to make change happen.
Right.
But here affect is actually acting as a verb.
Okay.
But again, this is not the common way that we would usually use that word.
Okay, so that's really good to know.
Yeah.
So let's try and put this all together now,
Okay, sounds good.
because I still feel like I could get tricked by a really tricky sentence.
Uh-huh.
So let's say the new law affected positive changes in the community.
Okay.
Is that right?
That's a really great example of where people get mixed up.
Okay.
So it sounds right.
Uh-huh.
But remember, effect is usually the noun. It's the outcome.
Okay.
So the law didn't affect the changes. It caused the changes. Right. It influenced those changes.
So the correct way to say that sentence would be the new law affected positive changes in the community.
Exactly. Yes.
Yes.
So the law is the actor. It's the thing causing the change and those positive changes.
Uh-huh.
That's the effect.
Okay, wow, this is making so much more sense now.
I'm glad to hear that.
Like, I really feel like I could spot the difference a lot more easily.
Wonderful.
This has been a great deep dive.
Yeah,
I feel much more confident about using effect and effect now.
Me too.
Do you have any final thoughts before we wrap up?
Just remember that language is constantly changing.
Uh-huh.
And sometimes words have more than one meaning.
Right.
So just keep exploring, keep questioning,
Okay.
and you'll keep mastering English and all of its, little details.
Yeah. It's a tricky language.
It is.
Lots of exceptions.
Lots of exceptions.
But that's what makes it fun.
Exactly.
Well, thank you so much for joining me on this deep dive today.
This was...
I'm so glad we could finally clear up this whole affect versus effect debate once and for all.
It feels good to have that sorted out.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we will see all of you next time on the deep dive.
Bye, everybody.